All right, Virgo. So pushing yourself beyond your limits, but I do think that there's something that you've been avoiding about this situation. So burnt by the sun, ambition, extension, and reach, and then you have truth. Burnt by the sun is my I overdid it card. This is like overextending yourself time and time again, but not getting to that breakthrough. And it really is about persisting though, but taking baby steps, not trying to force something like right off the bat, because it's like every time you do, you get shot down or you're just burnt out by it. But truth is saying that there has been some avoidance of the truth of the situation. And it is about you needing to kind of face that rather than ignoring what the truth is in terms of why you're not reaching that goal. It's not saying that you need to give up on something, but the way that you're persisting is not helping you. The truth here, I think, is that you need to change your tactics in what it is that you are trying to achieve. Because the more that you try to force, the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results, right? The definition of insanity. But you may literally be burnt out by something, but maybe that's the truth that some of you aren't facing. But truth is saying that that is going to become clear to you. It's not something that you can avoid anymore. It's going to be made apparent. All right, Virgo. Here we go. Here's your overall. The Princess of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be about new information that is being learned here that may help you start something in a much different way than burning yourself out or overextending yourself. There may be some communication coming through with a different offer though too. I kind of get that feeling a little bit here for some of you. But what information have you learned? What are you building this foundation on? But this is about like a very small opportunity. I feel like that's coming through for some of you. It could have to do with work, could have to do with relationship, how that goes. But we're talking about, realistic, practical growth though too. Oh shit. All right. In the past, the devil. Now, if this has to do with a relationship for some of you, you've been tying yourself to negative habits and patterns. And it may be that that is the information you're learning now. And it's, it's not, how do I put this? It's not like a complete breakthrough. It's going to require a lot of effort on your part to start to build something a little bit different. But I've always said though, like, you can't build a foundation off of the devil. You don't want to do that. But this is your past situation. You may have been chaining yourself to somebody very negative though too. Now, like I said though, if for some of you it feels like just, something that has been, holding you down, making you feel trapped, right? It's bondage, it's bad habits, bad patterns. Whether it's a person or not, we'll see here, but I do like the Page of Pentacles in that at least some information has been gained here. But what are you doing with it? Right? Oh boy. All right. Man, Judgment always scares me. And it's not a bad card. I always say that. This is reviewing the devil, the negative in your life, the things that have been holding you down. Bad relationships, bad patterns, all that, right? But you may not have been wanting to close the door on this. But there's going to be like the huge wake-up call here where you're going to be forced to have to review something about this past situation. It's time now to see it. And again, right, like seeing the truth, it being shown to you. But it doesn't leave you empty. Not with the Page of Pentacles being there, but it's really about what you do with that, But we'll see here, because this could be something that you've been avoiding having to look at. Future conditions, perfect. Perfect to the Six of Wands, so victory. Yay! But this is not about you sitting on a high horse here. This is really about, you doing what you know to be right for yourself. But that's only after you've had a very hard and long look at the devil in your life. Whatever that past situation is, it's clearly bad, it's negative, it's been toxic in your life. And I do feel avoidance, but you get to a place where you overcome all of that, which is great. But does that open the door here? Oh, I see. I see what's happening. So let's look at the Six of Wands for a minute, right? One of the big things about this card is that there are other people that are recognizing what you're doing, and they see that as a positive in your life, right? And then you have the Page of Pentacles as the overall. So is this about somebody who sees what you're doing, and here comes this small offer? But it's also about what you have learned about the past. So what are you doing with this, and what are you building here? And who is offering you what? But it's only when you've had the wake-up call and made a judgment call on this situation that clearly isn't good for some of you. Wow. Okay, your best path to follow, the Emperor. And this is you in a very big way stepping up and taking control and no longer allowing this person, this situation to have control over you anymore. You may have something negative from your past coming up to cause problems though too, but the thing is you're overcoming that with the Six of Wands. But it allows for a new opportunity. But yeah, I would say that with the Emperor, this is, you taking back control and establishing stability in order. And that, I think, is very much going to be needed here before we start to build with the Page of Pentacles. Wow, man. In your environment, the Two of Wands got you. Okay. So, and this may be what you have been avoiding, that you continuously think that the path that's in front of you is the path that you should be taking. But the thing is that this was a choice to take a course of action here, but it was directly tied to you being bound to something that was extremely negative. Now, if this pops back up in your life, it may be that, you need to, unfortunately, look at all of this again to get it out of your life, to close the door on it so that you can actually follow through with plans that you have made. Because I'm looking at it here and it looks great. But the thing is that, again, there's the avoidance of having to deal with this, but being forced to, because now there's a choice that's going to have to be made on a course of action. But the thing is if you don't do this, you may end up following the same path that you've already been down. And again, it's about what have you learned? What information have you learned or gained? When you look at the Page of Pentacles, this is somebody who is very reliable, very, realistic and practical, very much Virgo. But you are coming from a new place, a very new place, a new opportunity. And it is about having to learn a new set of skills. Right? And that, I think, is where judgment is coming through, especially when you've been trapped with the devil for so long, whatever that devil is representing. So it is about you learning new skills so that when you make choices to act, you're not doing it from a place of being confined and restricted. Wow, man. Wow. But there is a choice that's happening in your environment, but you have to face something first. This is coming back for a reason. But again, you're leading to victory, which is great. It's great. Okay, your hopes and your fears, the King of Pentacles, and this may be the problem. So now let's talk about this first, though, in terms of your career. Whether you're male or female, the King of Pentacles is perfect for Virgo in terms of being realistic and practical and having a routine in the way that you do things to create success. And it's perfected in the King of Pentacles. So it may be that you're hoping to continue the success that you are starting here. This is where you want to end up. Now, for others of you, this may have to do with a person, right? It could be another earth sign, male, female, you know how that goes. But hopes and fears may be surrounding that. And I always say with the King of Pentacles, when it comes to dealing with somebody, it's really, this person has the ability to be very dependable and can make things very successful. You may be fearing that, this person has the means to make things successful with you, but are they though? And is that where the choice to take action is coming through? after having a wake-up call about what this person is willing to provide to build this kind of foundation. But either way, we're still overcoming any kind of obstacles having to do with the negativity that is coming through on this. You may be hoping that somebody is going to be dependable here, but the thing is we're making a judgment call. What course of action are you taking? But you're still leading into a good place, but you have to take control of the situation, though, in order for it to continue to be a successful closure of the past negativity, right? But you're only reviewing it here. We haven't reached the world just yet. And then coming out the Queen of Wands. And the thing is I like this because this to me is saying that you're stepping into a position with the Six of Wands where you are in your power. It's being able to manage what is going on, but also following through with what you are choosing to do with passion. But it also lends to the Six of Wands in terms of somebody recognizing you. She attracts a lot of attention. And the thing is if you take a different course that is away from the devil, after having a wake-up call, you may be attracting something completely different into your life, someone else completely different, hoping to attract somebody that is more stable and in control and can make things happen for you. That or it's about you. But either way, with the Queen of Wands coming out, you look great. You look great. As much as I love the Queen of Pentacles for Virgo, I think that this is better in terms of being more passionate about what you are doing here, no matter where this offer is coming from. Oh, I'm so sorry, Virgo. It's too early in the morning for all this powerful stuff coming through, I'm telling you. But I like it because this is something that has been holding you down for far too long. And then you come out with the Queen of Cups. Wow. Wow. And you become more emotionally invested in what is going on with this Page of Pentacles, this opportunity, this you learning information from the past after having the wake-up call, taking a different course of action. It all looks great. It really does. Works. Now, with the devil, this is something that, like I said, a lot of you may have been avoiding because you were hoping that this was going to work. And I think that, you may have been the only one putting in the effort here. And that doesn't go well with the Three of Pentacles. It is about collaboration with others, right? So if it is about a relationship and a negative, toxic one, this is you getting a wake-up call that, hey, you've been the only one putting in the effort here. Maybe it's time to take a different path or make a different choice. And with the Hermit, this is you going within and separating yourself from that situation where you can see things much more clearly. Where is your direction, right? And it leads you to this well of emotions with the Queen of Cups, emotional healing any kind of damage that has been holding you down. And again, whether you're male or female, but the energy that you're internalizing is picking you up off the ground. You can no longer be held down by the devil, whatever that represents. And this is not about you being emotionally naive or easily manipulated or being, so giving of yourself that you keep yourself down. Not with the Queen of Wands. You look great, you feel great, you look better, and you feel better about yourself once you break those chains, right? And I love that the Hermit is sitting right there with it. You look great. You look great. And I do think that there may be some recognition coming in from not just one person, but maybe a few people, because it may be about you putting in time with, a different project, a different job, something away from what has been keeping you trapped, right? Putting in your effort into a different relationship where we're attracting somebody a little bit more dependable, But the thing is after that moment of not necessarily isolation, but after that moment where you take that time out, you come out as the Queen of Cups, better in tune with your own emotions, healed from the damage. But what people see on the outside is the Queen of Wands, which I love. I love it. It looks great. New path emerging, and then surrendering. And the thing is the reason why I feel like surrendering is showing up is because there's still this attachment to something, but it's clearly not a healthy something. So there is new growth happening that is making way for this new path, but a choice will have to be made. But you have to, surrender the control. Because I'm looking back at the Emperor and I'm thinking that for a lot of you, you've been forcing yourself to be controlled by this, because a lot of times the devil can indicate, what is comfortable for us. It's what we know. And to change that can be difficult for a lot of people. You have to have the want to do that. And that's where the choice is coming up for you. Everything will be revealed to you. You'll be forced to face it with judgment. But the choice is on you. But you have to surrender. And it's not surrendering to the devil or allowing something to have control over you anymore, but it's surrendering this idea that it has control over you, right? But you can't see that new path, and you can't start building toward it until, there's the surrender of what has been oppressive. I hope that made sense. And then spend quality time together. It's important that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and talking to each other. So there is love all around you, but this may be you needing to spend some quality time with something that is more dependable in your life. It may be that, if this recognition is coming through, you may have been chaining yourself to this idea of this love is the only love. But the truth is that it's all around you. And if you spent some time seeing that in others and spending that time with others, that may be the Page of Pentacles here for some of you. You guys will have to let me know on this one, but let me just say that you look fantastic coming out, Virgo, seriously. And I'm not kidding about you looking like you are sitting in your power. I mean, hell, these two queens with the Hermit and you right in between that, you look great. Things look like they're going to be better for you. More positive recognition is going to come through. But there cannot be that avoidance anymore.